Smarterfan. Smarterfan. Yeah. Smarterfan.
Hey everybody, welcome to another segment of Smarterfan Podcast, where we bring you behind the veil of sports, business, and life. I'm Joe, and this is Barry. What's going on, Barry?
Man, something's going on, Joe. Tornadoes and flooding and something's going on, good and bad all at the same time. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But, thank God we're alive, we're kicking, and we're here to do what we do. And so it's good to see you, my friend. It's good to see you.
All right. I'm going to talk about Joe Louis. Okay.
The Brown Bomber.
That's right. Now, his pro career started in 34. And from the start, it was shady because this bookie by the name of John Roxborough told him that no white managers were interested in seeing him move up the ranks as a black boxer. So that's how he became his manager. Okay. And then,
shady.
And then him and his cohort, they signed Lewis to a deal that gave them half of his earnings.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, and then they crafted a promotion which got him out of the shadow of Jack Johnson. They wanted to get as much distance between him and Jack Johnson as they could. And that worked for the most part, And then when he beat Primo Carnera, that put him in the international spotlight. And that's where he got the nickname, the Brown Bomber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, when he fought Schmeling the first time, Schmeling knocked him out. Mm-hmm. And that culminated from Jack Johnson and Schmeling seeing a weakness with Lewis's jab. When he threw it, it dropped off. And Schmeling took advantage of it. Mm. So, yeah. And then they concocted a scheme where Schmeling was supposed to get a title shot at the Cinderella Man, James Braddock. But instead, Lewis got the title shot. And unknown to Lewis, to get the shot, they gave Braddock 10% of his purses for the next 10 years.
Jeez. All unbeknown to him.
Mm-hmm. And he beat Braddock, and that set up the stage for his second fight with Schmeling, which he won decisively. Mm. And but one of his toughest fights was against Billy Conn. And Conn was winning the fight on points, but against the advice of his corner, he tried to knock Lewis out, and Lewis took him to school and knocked him out. Mm-hmm. So then Lewis went into the Army in 42, and he went on a celebrity tour with Sugar Ray Robinson doing celebrity fighting exhibition fights. Mm-hmm. He retired twice, first in 49, but then he had to come back because of his IRS issues. And then he retired for good in 51, after Marciano beat him. So,
Yeah. Well, when your management is stealing your money, you're going to have IRS problems. Don't get me started.
Exactly. And then he fell on hard times. And Jack Dempsey set up a fund to help him financially. And he also, he did a stint in pro wrestling. He refereed wrestling matches. He refereed boxing matches, But then in the 70s, his health started to fail.
Yeah.
And his last public appearance was at the Holmes Burbick fight in 81. And hours after that fight, he died.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. And he held the title for 12 years, and he had 25 title defenses. That was a record,
Jeez.
you know. And he was buried in Arlington with full military honors. And Max Schmeling was one of the pallbearers. Now,
wow.
Yeah, they were good friends later on. And in his career, he made $4.6 million, and he only saw 800,000 of it.
Jeez. And that's some money back then, boy. That's some money.
Yeah, but it was just an American tragedy,
On a lot of levels. On a lot of levels. Yeah.
Yes.
Matter of fact, let me give you a little trivia.
Uh-huh.
I know you're beating me 10,000 to 1, but did you know now Max Schmeling is German?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so when the Brown Bomber, Joe Louis should have never had any tax money issues at all, because they leveraged him for the war effort and for war bonds.
Yes,
right?
they did.
He made so much money for the military of the United States government, it's not even funny. One.
Yeah.
The second part is Schmeling was able to get a Coca-Cola franchise, and the Brown Bomber wasn't.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Here's this German. We're fighting a war against a German. The Brown Bomber is doing all he can to help the United States government win that war with war bonds and all that, appearances, and he can't get a Coca-Cola franchise to sustain him for all he's done. But the German guy, Schmeling, and I know it's bad mouthing him, but you see, you see the dichotomy of that.
Yes, it's a
in his own country.
Tragic irony.
Yeah,
but
you're more kind than me.
Yeah, but behind the scenes, though, Schmeling was helping him out.
Yeah, I'm not saying Schmeling was a bad guy. What I'm saying,
no. But I'm just, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying, Schmeling was helping him out behind the scenes. So
I wish the American government was helping him Joe Louis out behind this, in front of the scenes. Because I mean, you got to think about how. I mean, probably if you go back and we looked at the archives of how much money he generated for the United States government for the war effort, it's got to be millions of dollars.
Yeah,
millions.
Definitely.
And
just a sad state of affairs. But what's going on with the WNBA?
Man, I've had so many conversations about the WNBA. It's not even funny. But the one that really leaped out is somebody came back to me, because I told him, I said, let me tell you something. This new class of young ladies, especially Reese and Caitlin, once they get to the halfway point of the season, you're going to start to see a level of play on a consistent basis that is going to shock people. Because these young ladies and this class going forward, I haven't seen this level of play and dominance since the 90s. And I mean, they're literally making these vets look slow. They're really putting on a show. And I really believe these two young ladies have the ability to get into the playoffs. Their teams are starting to gel little by little. They're becoming more and more dominant. Angel is developing. She shot a couple threes the other night and made them. So think about the problem that's going to create. So she she shoots the three. You gotta worry about her three now, right? And she's going to take you down to the post. So now you're in limbo.
Yeah.
Right? Caitlin is. Man, I watched that girl, man, and I mean, she's 360. So I think it'll actually come out to, and I hope it comes this way, that they both become co-rookies of the year. Especially if Angel can get her offense up,
right?
It would really, really be awesome. But Caitlin, man, I'm watching this young lady, and they don't know what to do with her. These vets don't know what to do with her. And And somebody said, well, that's a bit much. I said, do you realize these young ladies came in off the college season and had less than a month to prepare for the
Right.
WNBA? They said, what?
Mm.
I said, they didn't have 3 months or to gel with their new team or any of that. They had 2 weeks and then they were on the floor.
Right. Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, after the halfway point in the mark, these girls are they're unstoppable now. You just wait till they figure it's going to be an amazing thing. I just hope the powers that be don't mess up this tremendous opportunity economically for the WNBA. The merch is off the chain. The attendance is off the chain. And so these ladies can make it happen. I think they just really had the wrong people at the helm. And I'm just excited. I'm excited. I'm planning to go to a couple games and see them live because they're really putting on the show. I find them, I find them more entertaining than the guys at this point.
Oh, of course.
I really do.
Of course. Definitely.
So I just wanted to chime in on that quick point there that, man, we're seeing and as as I said to the person, this is no different than when Jordan came, Magic and Bird came, Clyde came, and all those guys. They distanced themselves from the vets. They were that guy, Dr. J, when he merged the 2 leagues together. It's just the way it is, It's just the way it is, and Tarasi had to eat a little humble pie the other night. She said, "Well, this is the same thing that happened to me 20 years ago when I came into the league." And I said, "Yeah, you're right. So, but now it's your time to eat a little humble pie because there's a new sheriff in town.
That's right.
The Bayou Barbie, and Caitlin got to come up with a name. But that girl is she's got it all. And I'm a little tired of these fanboys. Oh my goodness. Like, oh, she's this. I'm like, bruh, chill a little bit with the fanboy. It's like a little embarrassing. It's like she's all of that, but anyway.
Okay, the Major League Baseball. Okay, I want to talk about the Marlins and their dysfunction. Now,
that they've had for the past 20 years since they lost the World Series. Yeah,
they must be allergic to success because they won in 97, blew up the team. Won in 03, blew up the team. They hire Kim Ng, the first female GM in Major League history, and she puts together a team that makes the playoffs for the first time since 03. And what does the owner do? He starts undermining her authority. So she just declined her option and just said adios. And Jeter said the same thing. He walked away because he said they were just going in the direction that I didn't sign up for. So that's the that's the dysfunction of the Florida Marlins. But anyway, the race in the majors so far is, as of now, is the East is up in the air. The AL East is up in the air. The Central is just basically a 3-team race. The West is a 2-team race. The NL East is the Phillies Braves. The Central is the Brewers Cards. And the West is the Dodgers Padres. So my point being that the rest of the league is playing 500 or under.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's just crazy. Now, the Yankees, they have been just an embarrassment. I mean, they did great in the beginning, but they haven't been right since the Dodgers series. And oh my God, I mean, these guys, Cashman predicted that Stanton would go down, and I mean that's a safe bet. Rizzo, another usual suspect, and DJ. Ever since he got paid, the only thing he's done consistently is get hurt. So, and then they got this kid Dominguez. he's supposed to be their future.
Mhm.
And so far, he's been nothing but a constant casualty. He got hurt when he came up, had Tommy John surgery, and then he was out for a while. Yeah, then he came back, was playing in a rehab game, got hurt again. So he's out again.
Yeah, well, they may have brought him back too soon. Tommy John's surgery is no joke.
Yeah. No, but that wasn't he strained an oblique muscle after that. So
Okay.
so it's just disgusting as far as I'm concerned how the Yankees are doing. But what's going on with the biz side?
Well, you kind of led right into it, and this is what the fandom has to deal with. There's just so much money that's being made by owners that the incentive, Joe, to make a winner, to have a winner, is just not there.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of athletes and personnel figure that out. You know what I mean? That's why Jeter left, right? The Yankees, when they had the opportunity to have Reggie Jackson in the front office, they messed that up.
Yeah, that was a dumb move.
And I think it goes across all sports. There's this lazy, selfish, stupid way because there's just so much money. When the NFL commissioner says we're like paying $800 million in the NFL to coaches who are not even on teams.
Yeah.
So you look at situations where you really wonder. Like I always tell people statistically, just look at statistically. Why are certain franchises always in the bottom half? Because they're not really committed to winning. But doing those things that you do to win. Like you said about the Marlins. Like you had two opportunities to really do something unique, right? And really create a dynasty maybe. You blow it up. Because the owner, unfortunately, you get ownership. And I think that's going to start to play a bigger role, if not already, where players decide, I ain't going there because I want to win. And that happens in all sports. You know what I mean? Players start to I ain't going there. I don't care how much money they pay me. They're not committed to winning, and I want to win. And so what ends up happening? You don't get the best players. So you're like perpetually 500, right?
Yeah. Well, go ahead. Well, no, it goes back to what George Steinbrenner said when they started the revenue sharing. He says, I don't have a problem with revenue sharing, but don't put my money in your pocket and then bitch about me getting the best players.
That's why I love George.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of owners who are really not committed to winning. You can't tell me with Vida Blue, Reggie Jackson, and those guys that they had, that they couldn't have won more than one World Series. But Finley had a mindset of the 1930s baseball. He didn't evolve.
No.
He didn't evolve. You know what I mean?
No.
So, and that's what happens with a lot of franchises. They don't evolve.
Well, Finley tried to blow up the A's team, but the commissioner stepped in and said, nah, this is not good for baseball.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? The commissioner understood. You don't seem to understand how this works. This is not 1920. This is not 1930. We have to put a competitive product out there to keep the wheels turning for the whole league, not just your franchise, because now your franchise is seen on TV all over the world. But this is what happens. Many don't get it, or they do get it and don't care. Right?
That's what it is. Yeah.
And the fans suffer and players suffer because they end up in organizations that, they just want to make a show. Now, what's going to be interesting is what happened with Cleveland. But I told people that guy, that Stefanski, was going to run out of excuses. You can't have Lamar Hunt. Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, a great offensive line, a decent defense, and you can't make the playoffs
Mm.
consistently.
Yeah.
You got Ward in the backfield, and you can't make you can't make the playoffs. I'm like, what is like? How many chances is this guy gonna get? I mean,
Wow.
he's got number ones, number twos, I mean, he's got a heck of a roster, and he can't win nothing. So they got him out of there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
And now Gruden is back.
well, speaking of dynasties,
Mhm.
we're watching the end of an era here. After 13 seasons, Klay Thompson is leaving the Warriors and going to the Mavs. He got a 3-year deal. Yeah, he got a 3-year deal for $50 million. And, he's going to be joining Luka and Kyrie and to hopefully make a difference. Now, Steph Curry said that we may never see another dynasty like theirs again, because of the way everything is structured, with the players getting paid and the teams not being able to afford them, So he says, yeah, this might be the last dynasty that we see.
It depends.
Well,
because every year the money gets bigger, and then players who want to win can get creative, and ownership can get creative. Because I keep trying to tell you, man, the money is not going south; it's going north.
Yeah,
it's going north.
Speaking of money, Bronny just signed a 4-year deal with the Lakers. And LeBron opted out of his $51 million deal. And then he signed a 2-year deal for $104 million with a no trade clause and a player option for next summer.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, but they said they're going to kind of like shave some of that money off so that he can, they can sign other players. That's what he said he might do, Now, Kemba Walker, he played with the Celtics, the Knicks, the Mavs, and the Hornets. And after a 12-year career, he's calling it a day.
I can see why.
Why. Yeah, he was the all-time leading scorer for the Hornets. And now he's going to be in the front office. He's going to be player enhancement coach, under Charles Lee. So he's making the transition. And he said it was time.
Yeah, I mean, Kemba's a smart guy. Again, another player who didn't run into an organization who really knew what to do with him.
Yeah,
because you couldn't stop him. He had all the tools, but he just couldn't get on a team that had the rest of the pieces. He's a legit one who can run your offense, but just unfortunately not having enough pieces to pull it all together. But a great player, and I wish him all the best and success, but a very smart guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think he's going to help that franchise.
Yeah. It needs some help.
Yeah. They've needed help for a long time.
Yeah, man.
Now what the Knicks got to do is they got to get off their butts and give Tibs his extension.
Yeah. I mean, it just keeps repeating itself over and over.
Leon. Yeah, they finally got a guy in Leon Rose who knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll have to see how that plays out, but we'll have to hold off until next week.
Yeah, the Knicks and Thibodeau, they need to lock it in. See, I'm just going to say this, and we're going to talk about it next week. This is the difference between organizations who win and organizations who don't. Now, look how close the Knicks came. You should be trying to lock up, make things happen to do what? Make a run. You're dibbling and dabbling in foolishness. You got your coach. You got to play, lock people in, and let's get to work. Get people healthy, and let's go to work. But
That's right.
the lazy, the stupid, and the selfish.
Mm-hmm.
They destroy businesses and teams and organizations. And this is what we live in. This is the world of sports.
That
It
could
is
be the
what it
title
is.
of a soap opera. The lazy, the stupid, and the selfish.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Well, as we say, fans and family, Smarterfan podcast, stay in the game. Stay in the game.
All right. Smarterfan family, tune in next Tuesday for the next episode of Smarterfan podcast. Have a good night.
Awesome. Smarterfan.